nekateri, veš kaj, momentalno se še v Sloveniji, v državi Slovenija. Ja.
A jest? A ja, to.
Ja.
Nisu bile neke boljše. Nisu bile neke boljše. Čekaj na Ljubljanici, filmska festival. 30.
30. junija.
Ja.
Kakšen festival?
Ljubljana festival na Ljubljanici. Piše, nič drugega. vrsten. Anche cismi e foglietti. Ed è quando... Andrej nije došao. Andrej.
To pomeni, da se bo turisti vozijo pa dol, pa vidi, da me na muzika svira.
È arrivata.
Spoštovane gospe, spoštovani gospodje, današnja novinarska bo potekala v angliškem jeziku, tako da upam, da s tem nimamo težav. Če pa želite kakšen prevod, pa bomo z veseljem tudi prevedli. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, today press conference will be in English, but if you need translation, of course, we are at your disposal. I would like to welcome very warmly Madame Elino Garančo again in Ljubljana. We are really pleased that we can have you again for the second time in our festival. Also, Jon Marin, the conductor, first time in Ljubljana Festival. I hope not the last time. I also would like to welcome some of our friends in the hall. Vincent, conductor from yesterday, from the opening with his wife, very welcome. The vice mayor of Sarajevo and also bass baritone singer Ivica Šarić, sitting there, my friend. Alexander Pekovic with his wife from Belgrade. And of course, all you journalists, I would like to thank you to be here in this bad storm, which just happened, but I hope to finish in a few hours. So, we started last night with an event with around 10,000 spectators on Congress Square with good weather. Tomorrow we don't care because we are in Gallows Hall in Zankarov Dome. And now I would like to invite you, Madame Garančo, to say some impressions about rain in Ljubljana and about the program, of course, we are going to hear tomorrow.
Good afternoon. I'm not against rain. I like rain. Sometimes I'm scared of thunderstorms, but it's better than the 40 degrees of heat that I experienced yesterday. This is obviously not my first time in Ljubljana, and I'm very much looking forward to be able to sing after a couple of years break and maybe show some developments from my side as an artist. I'm sorry and I'm very appreciative for the understanding that I had to cancel 2 years ago the concert due to the private matters. So I'm very happy to return now. Me and Jon, we are an old and very loving team. Been performing in many places together, so I'm very excited to have him as a conductor for tomorrow's concert. And the program is something that, if I may say, introduces a little bit, kind of the new decade of my career, of having dramatic repertoire, quitting Mozart, Rossini and bel canto in big parts and growing up, so to say, and going into Verdi and Puccini, not Puccini, or the Verismo, and yeah, so to say, the real ladies and the real women, and very much looking forward to the concert tomorrow. Thank you very much for having me again. Very excited to always return to the places and not just to come for one time and then never again. And as I always say, hope not to disappoint the public. And if the weather is nice tomorrow, maybe even to stroll around and then enjoy the beautiful city that Ljubljana is.
Thank you. Of course, I think we already asked you that also tomorrow we'll be signing of the records after the concert in Zankarov Dome. As we all remember, it lasted quite a long time, 3 years ago after the first concert. It was, I think, the record we have had in such an action. Mr. Jon Marin, sorry. I would like to ask you, you're already here for some days practicing with the orchestra. Yeah, okay, one day. So what is your impression about the work together?
Well, you know, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Funny enough, although not performing in the festival, I've been to this festival twice in my life already. One time when I was very small in 1969, and the second time in 1978, accompanying my father, who conducted the Bucharest Madrigal Choir, who was a regular guest in the Ljubljana Festival. So although I have not participated in the festival before, I have been at the festival 2 times. So of course, you know, if you think about last time in 1978, you have completely different memories. I just arrived the day before yesterday in the evening, and the impression of the city is absolutely great, absolutely amazing. You have one of the most beautiful cities in Europe, and you should be very proud of that. And if on top of that you have the politics that give enough sustain to culture and to classical music, that's luxury nowadays. And that kind of atmosphere is the kind of atmosphere that stayed with me, the first impression. Very flexible orchestra with a lot of desire to make better, and of course it's as always a big responsibility when one day in advance you have to prepare an orchestra for such a special artist as Elina. You have a lot of responsibility, and they really took it very serious, so very nice atmosphere. Thank you.
Thank you. Of course, what to say more. We are all talking when we are on stage, that's true. But still, maybe, do you have, Madame Garančo, some memories from last time when you have been here in Ljubljana for the first concert?
That's why I like to return to places. I return to them because I feel a bond to an audience, and I'm picky in that respect, that I like to be able to grab the audience and take them on a ride with me. And my concerts usually, my gala concerts are usually in two parts, split in two parts, where the first part is a little bit more serious and more academic kind of music, and the second part is then a little bit more leisure and more fun, if you want to say it. And if I can convince the audience with this first half and really take them on the trip with us on the stage, and I can involve them in, let's say, academic singing, that means for me that the public enjoys music and enjoys the music for the right reasons, not just to come and have halalula, gala evenings with just the most favorite opera hits and melodies that we recognize from the mobile phone signals. So for me, it's very very nice to return and bring, or try to bring at least, the connection into the new level, and that's for me is the challenge, to sometimes overstep myself, and if the concert is successful, which was the last time, for me now it's even harder to bring something new and maybe to surprise or maybe impress even more. So it's a nice challenge, and I like those challenges. So I'm very much looking forward to the new love relationship we're hopefully going to build up tomorrow.
Thank you. I went to sleep at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's why my voice is like this after yesterday opening. So I do.
The low voices?
Yes, so I do apologize for that. But now it's time for your questions. So please, if you have any questions to our dear guests, just ask. We have microphones, so please use the microphone, because we are also live on internet. So you need mics that our audience can hear you. So, any questions from journalists? Please, here in the first row. No, you're all shy.
Nice, we're going to have an early lunch.
Then we can go for lunch if there are no questions. Are you sure there is no questions? Yes, please, come. Yeah, Mike. Don't be shy. Can we hear the question? Can we hear the question? You want to ask something? You want 1 minute with the lady after lunch? Or now? You are with the camera? Yes. Can we do 1 minute? Okay. So if there is no question, this is the shortest press conference ever in my life. So I'm glad that you are so convinced about our guests and everything is clear. And of course, Madame Garančo will give you the time. But don't forget, you are all kindly invited down to the church, where we prepared not reception, but lunch for all of you in honor to Madame Garančo. So you are kindly invited to the lunch, to the church. We wanted to do it in Pergola, in Summer Theatre, but because of the rain, of course, we moved it inside. And during the lunch, of course, or after, if you have any wish, I will kindly ask maybe later, Madame, to maybe answer. Yes, will not be long. Okay, so thank you. So we start with lunch in 2-3 minutes. Thank you.
to ne radi nesumno, to je napak.